my name is Alexandra Roseland and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do a little bit of my fall TBR. If you will remember, I have said in the past that I actually don't like TBRs. However, there is a little bit of a loophole to this, and that is I love seasonal TBRs. I have compiled a couple of books on my fall TBR and I wanted to share them. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first book that I wanted to read is a middle grade book, and it is by Neil Gaiman, and it is The Graveyard Book. I have heard so many excellent things about this book. So if you're unfamiliar with this book, it's essentially a retelling of The Jungle Book, except instead of Mowgli being in a jungle, it's about a boy growing up in a graveyard. That's all I know about it, aside from the fact that Neil Gaiman wrote this, and I love Neil Gaiman, so I'm really excited to read it. The next book I'm actually currently reading right now, and I am buddy reading this with KJ at Novelty KJ, and I'm also buddy reading this with Elizabeth down at Spicy Books Lady. And this is The Magicians by Lee Grossman, and it's absolutely perfect for this time of year. Quentin is just graduating from high school. He's a senior in high school in the middle of his senior year. He actually follows this piece of paper and it leads him to this magical university named Breakbills. And Breakbills is a place where you can learn how to do real magic if you have the ability to produce magic yourself. And side note, they actually have a series right now, and it's on Netflix, and it's called The Magicians, and I am obsessed with it. It's perfect for this time of year as well. The next one is a recommendation from one of my YouTube besties, and that is at Jaded Reader. She loves this book, and it is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. This is about a girl named Blue. She ends up meeting these boys who go to a local private school, and they have a mission, and she joins them in that mission. I know that's super vague, but I'm intentionally kind of avoiding hearing a lot of synopsi about this book because I really want to go in kind of blind. Hopefully that's a decent summary. I don't know. The next one is an ARC that was actually sent to me back a long time ago when I was the young adult librarian, and that is The Hazelwood. And essentially it's about a 17-year-old girl who goes back to where her grandmother used to live, and her grandmother is a famous author who used to write lots and lots of dark fairy tales, and while they are there in the Hazelwood, they maybe find out it wasn't all fiction. I live for it. Okay, so the next couple, I think they're all adults. So the first one is Rebecca, and this is by Daphne du Maurier. So this is a traditional classic gothic novel. This is about a girl. She goes to move with her husband, who she barely knows, in this mansion. He talks about his old wife, I guess Rebecca, all of the time. And Rebecca seems to haunt the walls and the house. The next one I have has been on my TBR for years, and I think that I'm gonna make it a huge priority first, probably in October, and that is The Shadow of the Wind. And this is by Carlos Zafón. I've heard that this is every book lover's favorite book ever. So in Barcelona, there is a little boy who essentially goes to his father's bookstore, and he finds a book called Shadow of the Wind, and he becomes obsessed with that book. Somebody is burning copies of this book. They're destroying this book. And so it's sort of like a mystery to figure out why somebody is doing this, who is doing this, and trying to track down, I think, the remainder of the Shadow of the Wind copies. The next one is a little bit of a chunker. That is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, and it's essentially talking about how this great wizard became great and their journey. And I'm really excited. That's literally all I know about it, aside from the fact that it is one of the most hyped up books ever on BookTube, and that's all I want to know. I don't want to know anything else about it. I'm really excited to read this. Yay, let's go. Another fantasy that I'm really excited about is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. First of all, can I just say that I didn't actually know that Victoria Schwab and V.E. Schwab are the same person. And I kept seeing like Victoria Schwab on this and V.E. Schwab on that. I remember thinking to myself like, my God, Schwab is like a very common name, but it's not, so. It's about a traveler named Kel, and he has the ability to go into all of these different Londons. There are 4. Kel meets a girl named Delilah, and she convinces him somehow to take her to a different world where they have an adventure, but there is treachery afoot, and it just sounds really magical and creepy and cool, and I can't wait for this. So the next one that I really want to get to is Legendary, and that is by Stephanie Garber. So I actually loved Caraval, which was her very first book. I actually read it with a group of teens last year at the library, and everybody who read it said that they absolutely loved it. It's a very atmospheric book for sure, so if you like books that are very like descriptive, I think you'll like it because I really loved it a lot. And a lot of people say that it reminds them of The Night Circus, and it definitely has a similar vibe. So Legendary is the sequel. I guess I can't really tell you what this is because it'll spoil Caraval, but essentially Caraval is about two sisters who go off and they are invited to a place called Caraval, where it's kind of like a mix between a game and a carnival. I think it's a really cool, fun book. So the last one for young adult is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, and like, look at the book. Oh my god, it's black like my soul. Just kidding, my soul is pink and full of bubblegum. It's about a heist. It's about a group of misfits who kind of all work together. The characters are really quirky and cool. Okay, the last book that I'm gonna mention today is the Book of Lost Things, and this is by John Connolly. This is supposed to be such a cool but really creepy book. This book is about a boy whose father remarries, and he sort of escapes into the world of his book that he loves to death. Then the book somehow sucks him in, and the world is much darker and more sinister than he was aware of. Okay, you guys, wow, that was a very long TBR. Until next time, book lovers, keep your head in the clouds and your heart in a book, and I will talk to you later. Bye!